Strictly music, only music, and nothing else. Let's go ahead and get into that. Benny the Butcher and the Black Soprano Family, Summertime Butch. I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right into it. Track one verse Butch. Classic boom bap type of beat. When you think Benny the Butcher, you think one word. That's bars. And he delivers on that. On this track, he delivers the bars in abundance. This puts you in that hustler, Ziploc bag type of mode, and he does it all in one verse. So he's true to the title on this particular track. One verse Butch, as he reiterates, why would I give them more than one verse? As if to say that he's so far above his contemporaries in terms of bars that one verse is enough to compete. And after hearing this, he may have a point. I did enjoy this track. No real big surprises. Classic Benny, vintage Benny, and he did what he was supposed to do on that, so big ups to him on that. Now, track 2, The Most, featuring Ray Moon. I like the intro on this track a lot. I'm not entirely familiar with Ray Moon, but he definitely adds to this track. It's very dreamlike, and then Benny comes on and brings back the gravity with the bars. And he has that very matter-of-fact delivery that he always had. And Ray Moon is doing a lot for me on this track. I love that addition. I think he breaks up the track well. And overall, I like the beat. I like the whole overall feel of this track. For me personally, it's not enough to say Benny has bars. That's what he's known for. I like that he sticks to that and kind of leans on the beat and certain artists a little bit more to break it up. So I do like Ray Moon on this. Not one of my favorite songs on the project, but Ray Moon definitely got his shine on that. And once again, Benny does what Benny does best, and that's deliver the bars. Now track 3, Sundress and Sandal Season. It's an interlude, and this interlude was comedy, pure comedy. I love it. I love it. Love it. I can almost see this as a voiceover. This shit was hilarious. It helps break up the overall seriousness of the project. Again, Benny the Butcher, very heavy, very deep. And when he has interludes like this, it kind of brings you back to earth a little bit. The tone and the atmosphere when you put Benny on, it drops a few octaves. And this track lets you know, hey, this is a project. We are listening to music. We can still have fun. So this interlude was very funny. And I like that. I like that a lot. Now, track 4, which is Nightfall. This track didn't do too much for me. The bars were there, of course, but that's to be expected with Benny the Butcher. And it kind of sucks that you can be so talented with bars and delivery that when you put the bars out and you deliver, it's almost as if you don't get the same credit as other artists might. But we know Benny for the bars. The beat didn't really do too much for me, but it was all right. It just didn't rope me in as much. It was definitely in theme with the project and the Butcher style, so I can't complain. Vintage Butch is good Butch, but it didn't scream out to me. It was regular Benny, and regular Benny is always going to be at a certain tier and a certain ilk. But sometimes I want just a bit more. And as we're 4 songs into this track, I wasn't really getting that in this project. Doesn't strike me as one with a strong startup. Track 1 is probably the stronger one leading up to track 4. Nightfall was decent, but it didn't captivate me much. So nothing really to be said there. It was a good song. It was good Butch. I'm not looking for good. I'm looking for something a little bit more. And track 4 just wasn't it. Now track 5, Summer 24 featuring Ed Lover. I like the intro on this track a lot. And the beat is definitely one of the best ones so far. It definitely eclipses the previous 4. The violin was going crazy. At this point, from 1 to 5, I think 5 has to be the best one. So it would be my favorite out of the 5 that I've heard so far on the project. It definitely outdid the last 3 songs. and because one of them was an interlude, so it definitely outdid the last 3 songs before this. And Ed Lover, not really familiar with Ed Lover, but he definitely added something to this track, and this track did it for me for sure. I definitely liked it. Shout out to Benny for introducing me to these new, or maybe not new to me, acts and features, because I'm not familiar with all of them on here. But Ed Lover definitely came to play, and this is definitely the best track so far. So big ups to that. Now we're kind of taking a turn, and we're starting to get into it. Now track 6, let's see here. Kitchen Table, Benny the Butcher and the Black Soprano Family. Now, if you know, you know. Harry Fraud, if you know, you know. La Musica de Harry Fraud. He's known for this. He is a Goliath in this game when it comes to this style of music, and I am never disappointed with anything Harry Fraud does. Harry Fraud is one of them ones. And Butcher and Fraud is a vicious combo. I like this a lot. I like when Butch diversifies his beats a bit. It still delivers with the bars he's known for. I definitely wanted the song to be much longer. One thing I've noticed about the songs on this particular tape, they're all very short, but it fits the trope on this project of having short songs, so I guess that's kind of the theme, short and to the point. I mean, the first track was called One Verse Butch, so he let us know out the gate that he's not going to be here for a long time. He's going to say what he has to say, and he's going to get out of here. But on a combination like Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud, I'm getting greedy and saying I want more. A longer version of this track pushes it further for me. Shout out Butch, shout out Fraud, and the Black Soprano Family. This is definitely one of them ones for sure, and it's probably one of the better songs on this project. But the length takes away a lot for me. I need this to be longer for me to enjoy it on a different level. Now, track 7, Peachtree, another comedic skit, which I feel was necessary to help break up the seriousness of the project. It's almost like taking a deep breath before Butch submerges us back in the deep, deep water that is his style of delivery and the bar-heavy type of songs that he's known for. And it definitely brings you back to life a little bit and lets you get some air. And the woman proclaims at the end of this interlude, bring real niggas back, which I feel like Butch fully intends to do on this project, just based on the subject matter. But then again, like I said, this is all what Butch is known for. He's known for this. He's known for this. Now, track 8, The Blue Building, featuring Amber Simone. Again, another artist I'm not entirely familiar with. But after this track, I will be becoming familiar with Amber Simone. This is definitely in top 2 contention. I love Butch on these smoother beats that still have that heavy boom bap sound that's found in a lot of contemporary music that we like today. But break it up a little bit with Butch. That's what I like. Amber Simone adds a shit ton to this track. There's a lot to be said about what she adds to this track. I like when Butch leans on a melodic artist a little bit to help break up his delivery and show his bag, like, hey, I can come over here and still get off what I have to say. So I do like when he's paired with a more melodic artist, and it's definitely going to get a bit more burn from me, no question. This is definitely interchangeable with whatever track you have at number 1 for this project, if it's not an undeniable number 1 in its own right. So this is definitely one of them ones for sure. Now, track 9, which is The Warehouse 3. I like this, but it brings you right back. It brings you right back with the serious tone on this track. Warehouse 3, it brings back that mafia style, that mafia music. Everybody takes a turn getting their shit off. I like how he listed the projects. I like how he spaces out the tracks. He doesn't have these super bar-heavy tracks back-to-back, which allows for some air and some space, and I think that's necessary. It still goes in with that above water, underwater style, peekaboo. I'm going to hit you with something hard, then I'm going to hit you with a bit more melodic, and then I'm going to come right back. I'm going to knock you over the head, then I'll give you a skit. So I see how he structured this project, and I'm a fan of it because I think it's necessary. I don't think you can go bar heavy straight through, and if Benny wants to stick to his style that he's known for, you can't go melodic straight through. So he definitely structures this in a way that does him very many favors. Now, Rick Hyde, El Camino, and Fuego Bass definitely help drive the point home. The Black Soprano family theme is not lost at all in translation on this track. It is plain and clear. The subject matter is very matter of fact. It's almost as if they're saying in black and white, you know why we're here, and you know who we make music for. I really like Fuego Bass and Rick Hyde on this. Everybody did their thing, but I'm in between Hyde and Fuego for the best verse on here, me personally. And maybe I edge it to Hyde a little bit for the bars and Fuego a little bit for the delivery. But big up to the boys on Warehouse 3. I'm feeling that. Now track 10, Higher, featuring Lindsay Nicks. Again, I favor Butch on these smoother beats, and he chooses exactly that to carry the project out, which I feel is a good choice considering how it started off with one verse Butch. And it's also the longest song on the project. Now, this length I would love to see on the Harry Fraud track. So he does have a longer track, but not the one that I felt like should have had this length. This could have definitely been shorter, and you could have added time to the one with Fraud, but that's my personal opinion. And if we're talking strictly music, only music, like we tend to do, I think my opinion matters a bit. I think give this length to Fraud and take it away from track 10, but that's just me. I appreciate Lindsay Nicks on here. I really like Butch paired with any singer. Like I said, I like him with any singer. He does very well with the artist that can break up the seriousness of his delivery and make it more digestible. You'll still get everything, but in a way that doesn't overwhelm you when you pair him with the artist or a good vocalist, a good R&B artist or a good vocalist. So show me Benny the Butcher on a soft vintage rap style instrumental paired with a good vocalist or R&B artist, and I'll show you a hood classic. This project has a few more than one of those on this track, and they're usually the ones when he has someone to help him out, like Amber Simone, Lindsay Nicks, or Ed Lover on a smoother beat. It definitely makes Butcher more digestible, but there's no bars lost in translation. He does have a bit of versatility here, and he switches back and forth on Summertime Butch between those two styles, the above water, and then he submerges us again with the heavy bars, heavy delivery, the mafia style, Ziploc, black soprano style music. So he definitely gets his point across on that, and he follows that trope, that knick-knack back and forth trope throughout the entirety of this project, and I like that. It's on a different level when it comes to bars, but again, that's what Benny is known for, and whenever we talk Benny the Butcher, we talk bars. So I wasn't left wanting on this track. I wasn't left wanting on this project. I wasn't left wanting at all. Track 5 and the track with Amber Simone, track 8, I do believe those are in the conversation for the best track on here. So that would be Summer 24, and The Blue Building. I think pick your poison with either one of those. And in all honesty, track 6, Kitchen Table with Harry Fraud. Give that track an extra minute and a half, and that is the undeniable best track on this project. Benny the Butcher, Summertime Butch, Black Soprano Family. I wasn't left wanting on this. I wasn't surprised either. I like that about Benny. I like that I know what I can get. Sturdy artist. He doesn't leave you hanging in any way. He delivers. I was pleasantly surprised on at least 2 of these tracks, the one with Amber Simone and the one with Harry Fraud. So I think that he did what he was supposed to do. He did what we expected him to do. And there's not a lot of artists that can repackage and deliver this style and still have people checking for it. So big up to Benny's for that. He is a niche artist, and he is deep, deep, deep in this personal bag. And if you ever find yourself wanting to go bust a move, go make some money, or listen to someone that really has something to say about how they came up and the things they had to do to get where they're at, Benny the Butcher is always a safe option, and you could never lose with that. So big ups to Benny, big ups to the Black Soprano family, and shout out to Fraud, man. I would love to see more Fraud. I want Fraud everywhere. It's one of my favorite producers. Shout out to Ed Lover, Amber Simone, Fuego Bass, Rick Hyde. Shout out to everyone on this, man. They definitely added to this project. And it may be a bit underrated. I give this a solid maybe 7.5 out of 10. And I think if you really want some bars in your life, you should go get that. Benny the Butcher, Black Soprano family, Summertime Butch, STriCTLYMuZik, OnlyMuzik, and nothing else. Go get that.